Hey, what's up, guys? This is Ricky V, and you're listening to episode number 2 of the Vintage Muscle Times. Now, this is a new podcast for all of the Vintage Muscle community members and everyone that is taking the products, looking to improve their physique, improve their lifestyle, the performance. And today, I have a special guest. What is your name, special guest? Say hi to everyone.
My name's Charles Woodell. How you doing, everybody?
And Charles is one of our very active members on the Vintage Muscle community. So if you guys are on there a lot, you probably have seen a lot of Charles. He's very motivated, keeps us all pumped up. He's posting in the gym on Mondays. He's working out on Fridays. He's all about the lifestyle. He's one of those guys that is just very consistent and someone we all like watching. He's always been showing us his progress pictures and how things are coming along. So tell us a little bit about the phase you're in now and what you're kind of into right now as far as your progress goes, Charles.
Right now, man, it's summertime, so I'm enjoying the extra sweat, and I'm just like dropping some BF right now, like not even trying to, which is nice. And I'm keeping my weight pretty stabilized. I'm not on cycle. I'm not on anything except for the Organa, the great VM pre-workout, and the new product, Testes. Testes? Is that how we say it?
Testes, I think is how you pronounce it.
Testes. Yeah. Just repeat the same thing. Testes. Oh man, I can't even. That's a whole nother topic we got to get into another day, brother. Whew, the Testes, man. Good stuff.
How long have you been taking Testes for?
Since I ordered it the first day it came on. I got here Wednesday. Got here this Wednesday. I did the whole serving, the whole dose the first couple times. It's too much for me, man. It's like a roller coaster riding on your skeleton. It's intense, dude. But you don't feel like your heart's gonna explode or anything. It's a real natural, energetic feeling, but it's intense. Overall, it's giving me this even-keeled energy and great mood all day, every day, from the time I get up to the end of the day. It's incredible. So I reduced the dosage that I'm doing pre-workout now. I tried like 1.5 of the dose yesterday. That was good. I did 2 scoops today, and that was really good with the pre and a little bit of other stuff. I tweaked the pre a little bit myself too. But
did you take the full dose at least 3 days in a row?
I did 2 days in a row. That was enough, man.
Yeah, the sex drive it goes through the roof on that Fadoja agrestis. It's really, really good for the sex drive.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. It just, there's some natural expectorants in there too. So, if you're looking to clear your lungs and your nose out, it's gonna help. It's gonna help clear everything out. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that happens a lot with these herbs because some of them have multiple uses, more than one.
Absolutely.
You'll find them in different formulas, and then you're taking it for one thing, like testosterone boosting, and then next thing you know, you're getting nice clear lungs. It's just the way it goes with these herbs. They have multiple uses, most of them.
Nothing wrong with that. Which kind of brings me a little bit to Ayurveda, which is one of the things I want to talk about today. That's something that helps me kind of balance everything when it comes to clean eating, because it's really so hard to figure out the science of clean eating these days. You know what I mean? And what's right, what proteins, what powders, what fats, clean versus dirty, all that stuff.
It's gotten so complicated that today you don't just have to consider the foods you're eating. You have to consider the source of the foods you're eating.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, which is why I also have been doing organic for the past, since about 95, 96, really. That's when organic started to get big in the marketplace. It didn't get certified officially with the USDA putting their stamp on it until 2002. But yeah, that's another passion of mine too, is organic foods, eating. It's what I do for a living. I try to eat as much certified organic as I can and promote it and advocate for that.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that. How can all of us take in the Vintage Muscle product cycle and hitting this stuff? How can we better our diets? What can we incorporate, take out of our diet to just get better results, look better, feel better? What have you found in your own experimentation?
That's why I like Ayurveda, because it ties into some things that are kind of simple. It goes to a very deep subject, don't get me wrong. But there are some really simple things to it. It's like, for one thing, it's almost the oldest form of medicine in the world. That's arguable, I guess. 5,000-year-old, natural, holistic, out of India, which bases everything on the 5 elements: space, water, earth, fire, air, and also 3 doshas that are in the body types, you could call them also, which are pitta, kufa or kapha, however you want to pronounce it, and vata. These three doshas or body types are balanced or put out of balance by 6 tastes: bitter, astringent, sweet, sour, salt, pungent. Now, each one of those different doshas, now I'm going to describe them real quick here. Vata, the elements are air and space. People that are, you could describe them like, light, dry, flowy and spacious kind of people, highly energetic, slim, creative. Mood kind of gets affected by weather and elements a lot. And the season would be autumn that would represent that. Kufa, now you're stable people, you're heavy people, you're slow, soft, strong, thick boned, but more like on the caring and kind of supportive and calm, non-reactive side. And the season would represent that would be spring. Pitta is the most interesting to me, the season being summer, because it's all about the fire and water elements. The people that are kind of more tenacious, hot, light, or sharp, I should say, oily, liquid, mobile, what is to describe them, muscular, athletic, leaders, motivated, goal-oriented, and competitive type people. Now the things that balance these things or put them out of balance, the vata is sweet, sour, salty. That body type, if that you're that kind of person, you want to balance your diet on those 3 tastes. The other 3, the bitter, the astringent, or the pungent, would throw that body type out of balance. Doesn't mean you don't want them in your diet. You want to lighten your diet up on those and focus on the ones that enhance that body type. The kufa or kapha, theirs are the astringent, bitter, and pungent. They'd want to get more of those types of foods, less of the other 3. And the pitta is the bitter, sweet, and astringent. They'd want to get more of those and less of the other 3.
Just clarify one thing for people, because I don't want people to misunderstand what you're saying. When he means, salty or sweet, he doesn't mean cotton candy and French fries. He means natural foods or that have naturally these flavors. Talk a little bit about how those foods are different from each other.
Absolutely. So sweet, actually, biggest category for sweet is meats, believe it or not. That's the basic taste of sweet, according to Ayurveda. Meat it is the basic, the sweet, I should say, is the basic taste of meat. So that's one thing that falls into the sweet category. Of course, sugar does too. We all know this for, certain fruits. But then again, an apple actually is an astringent flavor. A potato is an astringent flavor. Beans are an astringent flavor. Okay. Sour, we all know what sours are. Lemon, oranges, citrus, cherries, stuff like that. That's easy. Some of them are kind of no-brainers. You know what I mean? Salty, we know what salt is. No-brainer there. Bitter, that can be greens, that could be kale, but that can also be like Tomcat Ally. That stuff is, oh my God, that stuff's so bitter, right? Pungent, of course, is your spicy chilies, your jalapenos, your gingers, your garlics, all that kind of stuff. So I think I covered all those there. Yeah, I did.
So tell us a little bit more about diet. How can we actually apply some of these principles? Everybody out there listening right now, what are some good, helpful, applicable things we could do tonight in our diet that to better align our diet with our body type?
You'd have, the thing is, what I'm doing today is kind of just hoping to interest people in it. If you're really interested in Ayurveda, there's a lot of more knowledgeable people than I am, like Deepak Chopra, and that's where I learned a lot of my stuff from, to be honest with you. I learned about the foods that, fall into those different categories. And, with everything that's available at our fingertips today, if you wanted to, you could easily probably go online and learn a little bit about the doshas, learn a little bit about the different foods that, that put them in balance or out of balance. But I would definitely recommend, for one, Magical Body, Magical Mind by Deepak Chopra. Amazing, really good stuff. And that's where I've sourced a lot of my information over the years and knowledge that I've applied over the years.
It's important for everyone out there to always seek for the information, seek for the knowledge, and always try to improve as much in their knowledge base, their brain, as they can about diet, about proper nutrition, proper diet, about what really is eating well and eating clean, and what that actually means in a real sense. And I see a lot of guys when we're on the community. One of the most asked questions is, "Am I going to get side effects? Am I going to get any side effects from using the Vintage Muscle products?" And what's funny is if I go look at any of these guys' profiles, and you could see the kind of lifestyle, the kind of food. Sometimes they take pictures eating. I think, like, listen, man, you should probably be more worried about what your current diet and lifestyle is doing to you, more than more than worried about these products. Really, at the end of the day, a lot of people really they they completely forget just how vital and basic the foods you eat are. There is an old saying, it's an old proverb, is found in Egypt somewhere, written hieroglyphics, and it went something along the lines of like the good foods you eat feed you, the bad foods you eat feed your doctor. Now I don't know which way it fit, but that was pretty much this is an idea going all the way back to ancient Egypt. Even back then, the concept of good eating and clean eating was already a thing.
Nothing new. It's nothing new. It's about being you gotta get honest with yourself in a lot of ways. And the first step in learning a little bit about Ayurveda and about learning about yourself through it is there's a self-test that you take. And it was in that Magical Body, Magical Mind course that I did. It's actually like a course that you do, and you can buy it's probably all on CD now, or maybe I'm sure it's on digital format now too. But the test is really, I mean, I took it 3 times because I found I was a little more honest with myself every time I took it. Sometimes it might be a question where it's asking you, do you get reactive with these certain situations, or does this get under your skin or whatever? And you might be like, you want to admit that about yourself at first, so, and then you start to figure out, oh shit, I eat a lot of this, and I'm not supposed to eat a lot of pungent, and I eat a ton of garlic, and I'm kind of moody all the time. Maybe I should cut that down. It's little things like that. Eggplants always give me a bad stomach, and I found out that is something it gives my particular dosha a problem. It gives pitta a problem, and I'm like, oh my god, no wonder I always have problems with eggplant. So all these things kind of clued into me as I started to learn more about Ayurveda. So it's just an exciting thing, when you start to, when those things open up with these little pieces of knowledge that you can find if you just put the effort in.
Now, I've obviously heard and read about Ayurveda here and there, but it just wasn't something I focused on studying. Now, I do think that there's got to be some merit to it. There's different sciences from across the ages, from across the world, where some of the when people across the world kind of observed the same things, but they called it different things. They observed the same phenomenon in themselves and the bodies of the people around them, and they just called them different things, structured them different things. But let me get a little bit more practical with you, because, like I said, I don't know much of anything. Help me out a little bit. You've seen you and I are friends on Facebook. You've seen some of my pictures. You've seen the ranges, how I go up and down in body fat. What do you think? What would you be your guess is my body type in Ayurveda medicine?
I would say you also, and I don't, personality wise, we're just getting to know each other, so I don't know, but you are muscular. I mean, you definitely you definitely seem athletic. From what we've talked, you don't just focus on weights. You try to be well-rounded like me. I apply yoga, I apply qigong, I apply weightlifting, I apply calisthenics.
So you and I have similar body types.
I think so for sure.
I would say so too. I would agree to looking at your pictures and looking at the way. I would agree so too. What do you think is a better, or should be? Talk to me about my dieting for our body type. What do you think? What have you found in your testing sits well, doesn't sit well? What are we not being honest, or what am I maybe not being honest with myself about that could be causing me reactions? Because I'll be quite honest with you. I say to people very proudly that I eat pretty much anything, and that I tolerate pretty much any foods. Like, there isn't much I can't tolerate or doesn't sit well with me. I think everything sits well with me, and I enjoy the taste of most things as long as they're prepared well. I'm
Yes.
not one of those people. I don't like onions. Like fuck that. Whatever it is, bring it on. There isn't much of a problem with. But what am I fooling myself that I could be harming me and me not realize it? And what should I be maybe eating more of?
If you're eating too many spices, we all, I love spicy foods. I don't know what it is, you know what I mean? But it's something that definitely I shouldn't have too much of. It definitely, pitta is the fire in us. It's the fire in your belly. It's your digestion, So you have that strong digestion. I think people with high pitta generally have a strong digestion and can handle most of anything. But too much of anything is never a good thing. You know what I mean?
Do you have strong digestion yourself?
I feel I do. But things can throw it out of whack. I'm very sensitive, I think, and I can be a pretty emotional person, feel things pretty strongly in my gut.
I heard
the head and the gut are connected. You know what I mean?
I heard Dave Palumbo say something really interesting that I think you're gonna think is interesting for guys like us. He said people who have strong digestions tend to have bad skin because the body's pushing out some toxicity through the skin. People that have great skin tend to have really bad have good skin that's not kind of erupting. It's not very, very smooth skin. They tend to have kind of shitty suffer from bad digestion, acid reflux, things like that. And ever since I heard him say that a few years ago, I've been kind of noticing. And yeah, these people that have beautiful skin have, their acid reflux, the shitty digestion, but people that, but some of us that maybe get some eruptions, that maybe always have a little something going on in the skin, something bubbling always, we tend to have really strong digestions. That's interesting, huh?
Strong body odor. Yep. All that.
I take liquid chlorophyll. Oh no, I take liquid chlorophyll. Otherwise, my apartment would smell like my armpits if I didn't take liquid chlorophyll on a daily basis.
That would be under bitter, and you're balancing yourself out with that because chlorophyll comes from what? Your grains. That's perfect for you right there. There's an example of what works well for you, and that's probably one of the reasons why you stay unbalanced so well, because you're putting that into your diet every single day
to balance it out, because I do like spicy stuff. But now that you're mentioning it and you're talking about the fire inside, I do like spicy stuff, but I do notice some heat in my gut that goes beyond that kind of cool, pleasant heat from some spiciness to like, oh man, I might be fucking something up. Like something doesn't feel right for like a couple of hours after I eat some really spicy food. And I love spicy food, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And who doesn't love, salty and sour? I mean, come on, think about like how America eats: sweet, sour, salt.
Well, one of
our diet, and that's why we get so out of balance in their country.
One of my favorite things to eat as a young man, and I got away from it because someone convinced me that it was messing with the enamel in my teeth. I used to love just taking a lime, peeling it, or a lemon and peeling it, and just dipping it in salt and just chewing on it and dipping it in salt and chewing on it. Just a lime or a lemon with just sprinkled salt on it. That was like my favorite food thing to have. It was just incredible. But
yeah, they say it's supposed to be really bad for the enamel to do that on a constant basis. You know what I mean? For sure.
I was having one or two a day sometimes. When I was a teenager, and someone just said, "Listen, you can't be doing that. Like that's gonna your teeth are gonna. You can't just be chewing limes every day. Like your teeth are gonna get messed up." Yeah. So I stopped. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. So the spicy foods, Tom, because they add to the heat in my stomach that I guess according to this tradition, to this ancient science, I already have too much of, right?
Exactly. And you just hit it on the head. That is your natural element, fire, right? That's one of your natural elements. You don't need too much of it. You've already got tons, brother. Now,
it's funny. It's funny you said that. I'm a Leo. So according to the zodiac sign, I am a fire sign. That's real interesting. You said that. Yeah.
That is interesting.
That is real interesting.
It's funny when you have those little threads kind of tied together,
Yeah, and it's funny. I've done just fine with fire throughout my lifetime, but water, it's been a couple of times I thought I was gonna drown. I used to light fireworks like as a child, like at 5 years old, I would be lighting fireworks. Like that's just the way I grew up. It was just all right. And I've always
I hear
been
you.
around. I've always been around fire and never got quite burned, but been around water and yeah, maybe been a couple of times. It's funny. There is something to all these all these sciences because these are
Yeah.
observations that people made through thousands of
Right.
years. I mean,
Yeah.
This is passed down from generation to generation.
Totally. I mean, TCM is very similar too. It's a little younger. It's like 3,000 years old, but same thing.
What
Herbal
about
base, natural base. You know.
what about sugars and you know and breads and kind of simple that kind of sweet stuff for us? How's
Your
that?
grains, your breads are sweet. That falls under your sweet category. So the funny thing is I find like I'm one of those people that I do okay with like straight sugars. I don't eat straight white sugar anything. I'll eat stuff that does have or like organic cane sugar in it. I try not to eat anything that's not organic, you know, when it comes to like sugars, because so many of them are GMO these days. Um, but you know, I'll do, you know, like, you know, agave, I'll do maple syrup, you know, I'll do stuff like that. And I don't have any problem with a little bit of extra carbs,
but sweets are
you know,
also meats.
know?
So I could just
Yeah,
maybe have more meats and not have those
exactly.
grains, right?
Exactly.
I will tell you this. I feel my body feels good on running on both carbs or meats. You know, my body feels good running on both of those. But I will say that I only get leaner when I cut the carbohydrates out. Like it's the only time
for sure.
You know,
for sure.
Rest of the time, I'm always going to be just a little bit fluffy if I keep the carbs up throughout the week. But I mean, I got to go like zero carb, like just literally nothing.
Really?
No, yeah, like no. I never have any sugar at all added that I can avoid.
Yeah, no,
ever
coffee,
like,
nothing like that. I don't.
Nothing. I mean, nothing. And I stay away from breads, from even whole grain breads. I just try to stay away from them.
Well, whole grains are more carbs too. It's funny. They say white breads are almost better for you nowadays. You know what I mean? Because there's there's a lot more carbs actually in your whole grain breads. You know, I wouldn't say white are better for you, but when it comes to cutting down carbs, actually, just like a straight, like, you know, good quality white bread. Nothing wrong with that.
So basically, from what I'm hearing, for our body type, just the good old bodybuilder greens and meats diet would sit quite well.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, if you want to, you know, and then like the stringent are going to be like I was saying, like if you like fruits, apples, you know, potatoes. Want to get you some carbs in there? Well, you know, some good natural carbs and starches. Do potatoes. You want to go for some starches and protein? Go for beans. Those are things that are going to do well with you. Or other people, you know, that might have like a vata or kapha.
Describe stringent for me. How does a fruit or vegetable categorize as stringent or not?
I know it's that part is kind of a, you know, I'd like to do a little more research on that myself, just because it's always really interested me. And the connection I see is it seems to be white foods seem to be in the astringent category. Don't necessarily know, you know, why that the commonality is there, because really the inside of beans is usually white, potatoes, white, apple, white. Those are the three mainstays that pop into my head. I'm trying to think of some other ones that fall into that category on the stringent. I think it was watercress actually, which is a weird one, you know. Peas are actually astringent, which I thought was interesting too. And I do well with pea protein. I was vegan for a long time, and pea protein, I can chug that shit all day. I don't have any problems with it. I don't get the protein farts or anything from that. So, you know, there's a little more.
I stayed at a friend's house just for a few days. I had some business in town and stayed at my friend's house, and he is a vegetarian, full-blown vegetarian. So is his family. But they cook incredible food. They cook incredible food, some of the tastiest stuff I've ever had. I had at his house because they make good stuff. But about 4 days there, I says to him, I go, hey man, you know, I'm gonna go have a steak. And I was, but just like after a few days there, I was just like, I got
what you needed.
Yeah. Gotten so in tune with my diet that my body kind of asks me for what it needs. I feel like there are times where I just feel like, all right, you need to have a big old steak. Or there are times where I'm like, just out of nowhere, I get a crazy craving for carbs. Usually, sometimes it'll happen after I have a particularly hard workout. I'll have my post-workout meal, and then like 3-4 hours later, I get just the craziest craving to just have some breads or something, like something.
I think it's okay for you or me, you know what I mean? And yeah, we're still going to get a little bit of maybe extra body fat from that. But I think when it comes to your overall health, because of our, if you know, you are also like high pitta, that you're going to be able to handle that health wise. You know, it's not going to hit your immune system so hard. You can take it. You know what I mean? And we're, you know, I don't have problems. Some people like call themselves hard gainers. They can eat carbs all day long and don't get that extra BF like you and I. We, you know, it's kind of a blessing. We can
Yeah,
do
no,
that,
you
right?
if you have my body type, here's what's going on, because I see your pictures and I see mine's obviously, and here's what I think is going on too. I've like, I'll actually like fast and starve myself and you know, not eat any carbohydrates, and I'll do that for weeks on end just to get some decent pictures up to put on social, because I've done it before. Now I see you actually live a good, natural, healthy lifestyle, and you do, you know, you don't do the crazy shit I do. So you, although you're lean, you know, you're not you, and I couldn't maintain that level of being that lean year round. I mean, I could stay in a half stay between 8, 9, 10% year round, but to do like I've done for some pictures when I've gotten down as low, like 5, 6 ish, it's like that just, you just
forever.
not only can I not do that forever, if I go that low, I'll have a bounce back where I'll be 12%, 13% body fat. But yeah, I mean,
out of that plateau.
I could stay. You and I could stay around, because I'm probably where you're at right now as far as body fat goes. I'm on my way down now. I'm about to do a stack from Vintage Muscle. I'm just documenting my whole progress through. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna show all you guys here on that are listening to the podcast my before and after pictures, take you through my journey and the products that I took. And I could kind of stay, it'll be a learning experience for everyone. I hope I could just kind of stay here and be fine without much suffering. But if I want to get like the abs, like get really, really cut, like for nice pictures, and even decrease, you and I also tend to have a little bit of fat, not a little bit more than most people, fat buildup in the intestines, I think. This is why we'll have abs, but we'll be thick in the midsection sometimes, but you still get the abs.
Left handles are the last thing to go on me, man. They're always the last thing to go. You know, my abs will be showing, my obliques will be showing, but that's the hardest thing. You know, I really gotta be super strict.
It's the hardest fat for me to burn too, because I'll sit there and I'll watch my skin get thinner day after day, but I'll still hold on to a little bit of that belly, and that's that fat that's intertwined with your intestines. Yes. That's in there. You know, if you've ever lived in a farm,
shitty as a kid, let me tell you.
If you've ever lived in a farm and you slaughter your own animals, you see how much fatty tissue there is in between intestines, if you've ever done it. And so, you know, I mean, it's that level of stuff, like you'll get it. People get it. You and I have it. So that's real interesting.
Little tricks I do to help with that too. I do a lot of body percussion, like body thumps, you know, percussive thumping. And when I'm really focusing on losing that, I do it all around that midsection. I do percussive thump all over those.
What is that? What is percussive thump?
It's like when you hold if you were to take your hand, and it's almost like you cupped, or I should say, if you closed your fist, but just enough you could put your finger in there. You know what I mean? So there's like a hole, you know, but it's not, so it's not completely closed. And so if you would, now this is the TCM thing. This in traditional Chinese medicine, they wake up every morning and they do percussive thump over all their organs, front, back, all where your vital organs are, to wake up the body and awaken them and aliven them every day. I do that on my fat deposits. I do that on my back muscles after I work out every day. It's you know, you can hear me doing it now. You know,
sounds like you're doing something over there, right?
Right. So, you know, and it's you know, when like people use like I use like the sweet sweat belt. Some people will do like the herbal thin wraps. It's on that same line too. Remember, like in the days, the ladies would do the jiggle machines, jiggle on that part of their body. I'm doing the same thing, and I also
that's really old school. Before that's before people knew about weights.
That's how if I really want to lose that part of my body, I'll go out and I'll start dancing every day and really shaking that area of my body, start going out, going to go see a favorite band 2-3 times a week. If I start doing that, dude, I lose all that stuff in there. Shake that shit off. That's my theory, man.
If I started going out that often, I'd be getting plaster. It wouldn't be working out.
I don't drink. Yeah, I don't drink. So I got that.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
that's real. How is alcohol for our body type?
Now alcohol would definitely be, I would imagine, would fall in like a hot category. You know, it would be. I don't know for sure, but it's fiery, so it's got to be pungent, I would imagine. You know, but there's probably astringent qualities to it too, I would imagine. Also, what vodka is made from potato, so you know, hard to say with that one. You know, don't really know with that. But personally, you know, and then again, so there's sweetener too. So maybe alcohol is okay for our body type.
For our sort of body type, what do you think it's what are the best pro hormones from the vintage muscle line that you think will work well with us?
You know, I mean, for the longest time, it was pretty much just straight epi and rad for me, and I did great with that. I love that. You know, I really love the androl. That's really one of my favorites. That I really do well with that. I get great lean gains with that. Love the equi. I find with the equi, I can bulk and not gain too much body fat. I get a little too watery on the rad. Maybe it depends on what I'm combining it with. The Nor, I like the Nor. It's sometimes it can definitely I feel like it gives me a shot in the libido in the negative aspect, you know. And that was like only with my first experience with it. Since then, I was on a lot of stuff that first time too. I think I was just on too much. And I made a video about that. I know I saw that.
Yeah.
But since then, I've used it, and I don't know if I've noticed a difference. I don't really get a lot of joint issues to begin with anyway. But on a 12-week cycle, starting off at 4 weeks of Nor can't hurt. So that's what I did on the last cycle. I did 4 weeks of Nor in the very beginning. And I was fine, no joint issues right up to week 12. After getting off cycle, I was noticing a little bit of like dryness in my shoulder, but I always have that in that one shoulder once in a while. It's nothing like new. And since I've been actually using the testes and the organa, that's pretty much no problem. It's really, my joints have felt great. Everything's felt great. I feel just a good, natural, even keeled. You know, like with the dosage you were saying with VM, how you like to dose it throughout the day. I'm the same way. I got to stay that even level throughout the day. With these new powders, man, they keep me with that feeling. I really love it.
Yeah, the powder line that they've put out recently is really good. I mean, everything from the pre-workout, the AMP, and now Testis. I'm waiting for my bottle of Testis to try it. I had some idea about the formula because
talked about a little bit.
Yeah, the main guy, Jared. For you guys out there who don't know, Jared is the dude. He you know, when we discussed it, and I brought up Fedosia because Fedosia is a herb that I've been taking myself and giving guys guys that I work with for years, because it's, you know, when we first kind of started bringing Fedosia to the States back in 2006, 2007, and guys on the forums, on the old school juice forums from back in the day, when they got a hold of it, their nuts started growing back really fast. And we noticed like it happened within the first week. Like guys would take, and at that time they were only taking like 500 mix because the stuff was incredibly expensive to get Fedosia when it first came out. So it was like 250, not even 500 mix a day. And their testicles were growing back in a week. And then, you know, throughout years and different testing, we came up with the 1,000 milligrams a day dosage as being where you want to be at. And man, I mean, it makes your testicles grow back, your semen volume, it goes up incredibly. Dudes are like, some people experience like little weird dreams in color just because of everything it does. It also just makes you feel your wife is way much sexier. Anyway. Yeah,
my dreams have been really good lately.
Yeah, it makes you feel your old lady is a lot sexier than usual because of the increase in libido. You just start to like see like you're looking at you know your same wife through goggles now. Like, oh, you know, you start noticing more things. It's just it just gets you up there, man. Altogether, just your natural production. Tonka
I
has
used
a
to
lot of
do.
really good effects. Yeah, too. I like that one a lot. Another one I've messed with a lot. Tribulus too. Even though
Yeah,
I don't believe that Tribulus does a lot to raise your natural testosterone levels, but it does make your brain more sensitive to the testosterone you're already making. So you could take
sure.
Tribulus, and even if you don't see a change in what your blood results, blood in what your testosterone levels say in your blood testing, when you're actually would you actually feel like you feel great on that stuff.
For sure. One thing I did want to touch on too, and they don't mention it too much, is I feel personally is all these herbs need to be cycled too. Anything you take every day, it's good to take a break from. That's just my own
Oh
personal
well,
advice, and I have
you were
them,
just talking
especially with the
about yeah,
Tongkat Ally.
yeah,
That's
yeah. Your
that's
body
one that
tries
they
to reach
recommend. TCM
homeostasis.
specifically
Your body
recommends.
tries to reach homeostasis, and
Yeah,
it tries to balance things out, and then
yep,
they just don't work as much. Your liver gets better at breaking it down when it comes in. Your everything, and
absolutely.
just taking a short pause, like even caffeine. You take too much caffeine, your body
Totally.
begins to create more adenosine receptors. Next
Mhm.
thing you know, you just need tons of caffeine. What do? Just take a step back from caffeine, just a
Yep.
couple of
Give
days
your
off of
adrenal
it,
glands a rest. Yep.
just a couple of days off of it, and you're good.
Yep.
Just taking a little break makes it so the stuff continues to work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For sure, man.
So,
Got to keep that balance.
what other tips and tricks? What other things can you share with us? Things you found, things that we can apply to our vintage muscle product cycle. Things that you found maybe with specific products or with training programs, or anything that you can give guys out there that'll help them get better results, maybe stay motivated during their cycle, their vintage muscle.
I, hello? Did I lose you?
I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay,
Just cut
sorry.
off a little bit.
Sound like it cut off for a second. I highly recommend documenting everything you do. Now, a lot of people do macros. I've never used a macros thing. In the beginning, I shouldn't say in the beginning, but I don't know when I started tracking my numbers, let's say, but I don't necessarily anymore because I kind of know it in my head now, you know what I mean? But when it comes to your diet, fat, grams, protein grams, carbs, everyday calories, track that stuff. If you're trying to if you're trying to accomplish something, you got to you got to know what you're taking in every day. And you got to get familiar with those numbers. The other thing, track your workouts. If you're not keeping track of what you're doing, how can you track, how do you know you're progressing? If you're not writing that stuff down every day so you can reflect on what you did a week ago, you know, how are you going to progress? I have written down every single workout since 2000, right when COVID hit. I've got stacks of paper, dude. And it's great too, because sometimes you hit plateaus. I can go back and go, oh man, I haven't done that workout in a long time. And bam, I can grab it. It's right there and hit it. You know, I got workouts galore. I never get bored. And I've been working out at home literally, dude, since COVID hit. I'm about to unfreeze my 24-hour gym membership. And here at my complex, we have a pretty decent gym. But I've been, all these results really is from home workouts since COVID hit. I was at the kind of strength wise top of my game when COVID hit. Definitely lost some strength. I got to get back up to heavier weights, access to heavier weights, um, and get a little more striation and density that I used to have. But other than that, I'd say it's dedication. It's it's a journey. You know what I mean? You've got to don't focus so much on where you're going. Just enjoy the fact that you're there every single day and have that gift of being able to work out. Every time I don't want to work out, as soon as I start within 10 minutes, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? What was why was I telling myself and making excuses? Why did I wait so long today to get into this? Um, got to push yourself, man. No one else is going to do it but you.
That's very profound. To quote my friend, the same guy I'm telling you, I went to stay with, vegetarian guy. He gets up every morning, goes to the beach, does cold immersion, runs 3 miles,
Beautiful.
and he says, I'm wealthy. I'm wealthy to be able to do this, while he's in the ocean.
Right.
Because I've been right in there with him doing cold immersion. Myself, I'm always looking for the answer, always looking for something new and looking for the way. And he says, look, this is wealth. This is true wealth. Your health is your wealth. And that is that is true wealth. If you
Mhm.
lose, you tell me about this. If you lose a tooth, a molar, you know how much it costs to put it back into your mouth once you've lost it, to get
Mhm.
a titanium implant and
Mhm.
some porcelain up there. That's not even as good as what your natural tooth was like. Do you know how much it costs? Well, look how many healthy teeth you have now, and a kidney. Do you know how much a kidney is going for? Or I mean,
Mhm.
health. Your health is
Mhm.
your true wealth, and just as as much
Investing in your
as
health is the best house insurance you're ever gonna get, man.
as much
That's
as
it.
you invest into the skill set that helps you make money, you should invest time and energy into not just the products, but also the information. Like you're investing time
Absolutely.
now listening to us to help you just learn more about your body and stay healthier and enjoy your one true wealth, which is your health at the end of the day. So, uh,
That's it.
great podcast, brother. Thank you for coming along and
I
giving us
enjoyed
some,
it, man. Thank
some new
you.
ideas. I hope guys out there listening will continue to follow you on the community, Charles, and make sure
I
that
hope so too.
make sure that they get curious about what other information is out there about how to diet, how to make their lifestyle, how to make their health better, and continue to make this a learning progress. We should all be out there learning. If you heard some things today on this podcast that sound interesting, YouTube that shit, Google that shit, write Charles, just write them right on Facebook.
Absolutely. I love answering questions. I do.
Yeah,
My desire is to inspire. Honest to God, like it makes me feel good when anybody comes back and says, "Hey, I applied this and it's working." I love it. I love it.
yeah. Reach out. There's other folks out there just like you that are looking to help other improve, just so that they can be proud of helping other people coming along the way and find the answers. So make sure to Vintage Muscle Community on Facebook. I'll see you guys there. Charles, we'll see you guys
Amen.
there. Charles, thank you for your time
Thank
today,
you.
brother.
Support organic farmers, everybody. Certified organic. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you, Rock. Thank you, man. My pleasure.
Have a good one, brother.